Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Tuesday morning to you all. Hope you guys are waking up and feeling good out there this morning and having a wonderful start to your day and a great work week out there so far. We got some things to talk about in this morning's video, and we'll continue to talk about what we've been talking about, and that is the time frame between now and about Christmas Day. There's still energy we need to figure out. I think we're starting to get more confident on one way or the other. So what we're going to do here is speak on what we do know. We'll go over all the model guidance. And, of course, a lot of people are wondering, is it going to snow? Well, I can tell you for the southeast, the south, this is definitely not looking like this miracle snow we were certainly hoping for. But we still need to figure this one out for folks of the mid-Atlantic and to the northeast and even the Great Lakes region, the upper Midwest, and especially Atlantic Canada. I know I got people that tune in from Canada, and we're going to have a segment time stamped out for you folks, as I do think there's a much higher storm signal for you folks. This could be a major winter storm just before Christmas Eve and Christmas Day up there for you folks. So we're going to break it down, get very detailed, but we're going to talk about everybody. There's still an outside chance for something to happen for even down here in the lower 48, the eastern U.S. So we'll speak on it. And then we'll talk about the temperatures being well below average for a few days stretch. It's going to be an Arctic air mass, just going to be a fleeting air mass, going to move in, move out, and then we're going to warm up big time right after Christmas. And we're going to speak on that too. And I'm going to throw a bone a little bit to the time frame between Christmas Day and New Year's Eve, or New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, whatever, as I do think there could be a powerful storm system over the middle of the country. So we'll speak on that just a little bit. And then, of course, after we get done doing that, we'll break down today's weather. If you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. If anybody has anything that I can pray about or pray over, please put it in the comments below so I can pray over it. And it gives others an opportunity to pray over it also. So let's get rocking and rolling this morning. So we'll start off by breaking down this period between now and Christmas Day. And we'll stop there, and then we'll have a different portion of the video talking about after that. But here it is, starting it off tomorrow morning. We got a storm system moving over the country, and this continues. If we can get this going, here we go. This continues all the way into tomorrow about midday. We could have some snow moving across the Great Lakes region, even northern Ohio. We continue to move into tomorrow evening. This could be a quick hitting. And when I say quick hitting, that's what I mean. This is just going to be a quick thumping of snow for the interior northeast New England area. But the I-95 corridor, as you can tell, this is all rain, definitely all rain down here for the southeast, mid-south. Could have a mixture of wintry precipitation for northern West Virginia. And then this continues. It could deliver a few to several inches of wet snow up here for Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. But, like I said, once you get down to southern New England for tomorrow night and to Thursday morning, this is definitely looking like rain. This will move in and move out pretty quick. We're left with some cold air ushering over the Great Lakes. So we're going to have a little bit of lake effect snow energy. This will leave us with some snow shower activity across the northeast. And then we have another piece of energy coming down. A big-time clipper will dive down, deliver some heavy snow potentially from the Dakotas all the way down to Minnesota, Minneapolis. We will zoom into your area as far as how much snow this could bring you guys later this work week. This will continue to move down, and are we going to get some snow all the way down into Milwaukee, which hasn't really seen much of anything this winter so far? Certainly not in Chicago either. Green Bay, it's possible. Light to moderate snow dives down. If you're confused about the time frame, look right here. Thursday, 7 p.m. Back this up an hour if you're in Central Time, so 6 p.m. It says it up here too. And we keep going here. Some light, maybe moderate snow kind of just wisping through the Great Lakes region. This could bring some snow shower activity all the way down to Indiana, Indianapolis. Look, we even got some energy kind of getting down into the western side. The Appalachian Mountains could bring some northwest flow. And this is when it gets interesting, guys. We've been talking about this for a while. We get into Friday afternoon, low pressure trying to develop as a trough digs down. Energy tries to get on a better tilt for a strengthening storm system. Still got energy back here in the form of some lake effect energy. And something tries to get going here. A low pressure develops right here. I would say the run from overnight with the GFS was much closer. Not much, but it was definitely closer. It does deliver snow Friday evening all the way down to the Smokies and the mountains of the central and southern Apps. Some light snow showers. I know this looks like just a blob of light blue, but just think of that as just some snow showers. You keep going here, and man, this thing is close. It is very close to a swath of 3 to 6 inches of snow from the Delmarva all the way up to southern New England, but the bulk of the precipitation is offshore. It's just not close enough. It's close enough to actually deliver a little bit of snow to Maryland, Delaware, that back end northwest flow. Some snow showers Friday night into Saturday morning across the Northeast. Festive flakes, I like to call it. And then, look a little bit of snow in Boston. But, man, it just does not crank up until it gets to Atlantic Canada. Still some leftover snow showers across the Appalachian Mountains. And then there's another impulse of energy, kind of under the hood, if you will, or over the hood, because it is above us. But you just barely can see it. It's just in the form of some light snow showers. But this is like the fourth or fifth GFS run in a row that keeps showing snow showers late Saturday night and to Sunday morning for like the foothills of southwest West Virginia, some snow showers all the way to Boone. I mean, all the way into like getting close to Charlotte. I mean, some snow showers around Danville, Virginia. It just looks like blobs of blue down here. But listen, Sunday morning, I would heads up. We could have some snow showers in western North Carolina, southwest Virginia. I think it's a real possibility. Keep showing up. Let's see if this actually happens. It'll be interesting. Could dump a dusting. I don't know. We'll figure that out, fine-tune it as we get closer. And after that, we get to the 23rd, Christmas Eve, if you will. The cold air begins to kind of leave, still lingering around from the northeast. And then we might have one more clipper that kind of dives in. But this next system looks much warmer. But there could just be enough high pressure hanging around that when this moisture kind of slings through Christmas Eve across the Mississippi Valley, it'll encounter a little bit of cold air damming, and models have been teasing at this. And then Christmas morning wants to deliver a freezing rain event for the favorite areas of western North Carolina, southwest Virginia, even southern West Virginia. And this is something to watch and lingers all the way to Christmas Day. And then that's pretty much all she wrote with the pattern between now and Christmas. So it's just something to watch. Models have been teasing at this. Same thing with the Euro. We continue to move through this. Here's that quick hitting system, heavier interior snow, really favored for the higher elevations of the Poconos, the Berkshires, the Adirondacks, Green and White Mountains. I mean, all those areas that are just more highly elevated. All rain for the south. That moves in. Does some weird little glitch here. Let's see if we can get this back rolling here. This is the latest Euro, so let's back this up a little bit. And then here comes this next clipper, dives down, brings some light to moderate snow across the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes region. Thursday night into Friday morning, this gets into southern Ontario. And then here it is. There's the low pressure trying to develop right here. Backside energy getting all the way to the southern and central Apps. Northwest flow, a little bit of snow shower activity Friday afternoon. This light blue is just some snow shower activity. Low pressure tries to crank up here, but it's just a little bit too late. There's enough energy around late Friday night for a little snow. I tell you what, if you live in southeast Mass, this could be one of those just southeast New England specials. We'll see what happens. But light snow across the southern tier of New York, areas of PA. And, I mean, it does want to have like a little bit of like an inverted trough kind of look here. And it does try to bring some snow showers all the way into New York City, New Jersey, eastern PA, New York, sometime late Friday night into Saturday morning. And then it heads on out. And what about the energy behind it? Doesn't really do anything with it. And then we get all the way, this run of the Euro is only going to take us to about the night of the 22nd. So I'll have to go and look at the OOZ, see what it looks like here. The OOZ, come on, work with me here. And we'll kind of go all the way. This thing is my computer has been very finicky this morning. So I guess we're not going to be able to continue to go on this. Okay, my bad. I had it on the wrong. That's a user error right there. So we'll keep going through Christmas Eve all the way to Christmas Eve morning. And there's that system that GFS is showing, but it's really, really weak and just does not do anything. It does kind of try to throw some winter weather Christmas night across the central Apps, but it just gets the moisture there a little bit later in the GFS. But I would watch Christmas morning for some winter weather. Just not the winter weather we like to see. So at the end of the day, the reason we're struggling is because the flow is too fast. And, you get this in motion. This is Thursday morning. Here's our system across the Northeast. And then here comes that clipper diving down. Here's some southern stream energy. Do they try to connect here? They really don't. It's just a dominant piece of northern stream energy. But this does begin to take on a better tilt, and then it begins to wrap up, but it's just a little too late. You see how it dives down here? Friday morning, Friday afternoon, energy moves overhead, but then it wraps up just way out in the North Atlantic, and it just turns into more so a powerful storm system for Atlantic Canada. And then we got some energy that swings down behind this, the base of this trough, and this is what kind of gets some light snow ongoing in the western sections of North Carolina and Virginia. Little Vort Max swings over, and this is, once upon a time, like several days ago, this was the energy that was delivering a big winter storm for the Carolinas. Got everybody entirely too excited. But it's still here, guys. It just doesn't look like it's gonna get the job done. So, giving an update on Atlantic Canada. This is the GFS run for you guys. Okay, here comes the first storm. Mainly rain for Nova Scotia and southern and southeastern sections of Newfoundland. But this could be a quick hitting heavy snow event for New Brunswick Thursday morning. Well, I would say Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And then for the northern sections of Newfoundland, you guys could get snow with this too. And then maybe northern sections of Prince Edward Island, Cape Breton Islands right in here, I believe. But this moves in, moves out. But it's really the system behind this as we're getting into the morning of the 21st. This much colder air with this. And man, you have a big time low pressure just south. This wants to deliver a swath of very heavy snow for the southern shoreline of Nova Scotia all the way to the Cape Breton Island. And then it delivers a big winter storm. In fact, it looks like it's just a nasty, icy mix for southeast. What was that? The Avalon Peninsula, I believe is what it's called. An icy mix for you guys. A big time winter storm for Newfoundland, Cape Breton Island. Throw some snow all the way back to New Brunswick. All across Nova Scotia, especially the eastern side of it. And this is getting in the Friday afternoon. And then look at the low pressure. It begins to cut. It's strengthening. It's a 984 millibar low. And man, this just brings a nasty wintry mix Saturday night. And then it continues and actually could switch to rain in southeast Newfoundland, but continues just to be a powerful winter storm for the western sections of Newfoundland. And then it wraps up. So this could be a big one for you guys. All right. And then we look at the Euro, same system. It looks like it carries it all the way through. And here comes the first storm system. Looks much warmer compared to the GFS with the first storm system. But let's go on and get to the second storm system. Here it goes. Boom, moves in. This is late Friday night and a Saturday morning. All snow for Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island. Lighter snow further north. And has this weird little, man, come on, work with me here. And then we get into Saturday morning. Here comes the heavy snow moving across Newfoundland. This looks mainly a rain event for like southeast Newfoundland. But look, it shows that nasty swath of ice again. That pink is freezing rain. The orange is sleet. And it kind of develops another low back here. It delivers even more heavy snow back here for Nova Scotia Saturday morning. And man, this would be a nasty ice event for you guys in the central sections of Newfoundland if this is the way it happens. And just northern Newfoundland just stays all snow. It's just the potential is there for a big winter storm for you folks, for sure, as we get into this weekend. But the snowfall signal for the U.S., here it is. This is the GFS ensemble between now and Christmas Day. As you can tell, this is mainly confined to, and we can show the north central U.S. too. This is mainly confined from northern North Dakota, swath of snow through Minnesota. In fact, going for a few to several inches of snow in Minneapolis, and definitely some festive snowflakes. Okay, then we go back to the eastern U.S. and we see the snow, just a 2 to 4 inch snowfall mean across Wisconsin. The Great Lakes region, kind of the same thing. And then we got a little bit of a snowfall mean all the way down to the southern Alps of an inch or two of snow. Now, I know you see this here from my friends in North Carolina. This is skewed by one member out of the 20 to 30 members of the GFS ensemble. So don't look at this and say, oh, there's hope. And I hate to be like that. This is skewed by one member. One member, I believe. Okay. Once you get up into the Northeast, it's a different story. You do have some members hitting, but not many. But this is mainly looking like the interior Northeast. And, same thing for the Euro ensemble between now and Christmas night. Looks like about the same for Minnesota through Wisconsin. the Great Lakes region, just a several-inch snowfall mean. A little bit of a signal all the way down here into the southern Alps, and then the interior areas of the Northeast, a few to several inches of snow is possible. But, the I-95 corridor still just not a very high signal off this at all. And, just the Southeast, folks, I'll be honest with you, just does not look like we're going to get something. But you never know. You never know. I just think if I'm being real, it's time to look towards January. December, never a great month for it. For me, December would be the best month to get winter weather in the South because you got Christmas time and everything. But it's starting to look like that, unfortunately, and I hate to say it. I hate saying it each and every year. But it looks like another year passes where, we're not going to get the miracle snow we want here in the Southeast. Like 1989 style snow, like my folks in the Carolinas know all about that. That's been alive for that long. But the signal up here in Canada is much higher. Like this is the GFS ensemble from this morning. Of course, they'll go off centimeters. New Brunswick between both storms, anywhere from 8 to, just depends on where you live, 8 to 12 centimeters of snow. Nova Scotia, eastern Nova Scotia, not as much, 10, 12 centimeters of snow. You get into the western side, the signal is much higher. You got anywhere from a 15 to as high end as a 30 centimeter snowfall signal. Cape Breton Island looks like a high end signal for you guys. And then Prince Edward Island, same thing. I mean, on average around a 20 centimeter snowfall signal. And, I like to always compare this to inches also, but, several inch to almost a foot snowfall signal in some of these areas right into here. The signal is much higher once you get into Newfoundland. This could potentially be a big one for you guys. Obviously, southern sections of Newfoundland is going to struggle with mixing probably with this coming up, but the northern sections of Newfoundland could get hit hard. I say could because we could still have some tweaks, but just anywhere from 20 to 40 centimeters of snow is possible. So that's a lot for sure. And then you compare this with the Euro ensemble, and it does look like the 06Z has ran all the way through, so we're good here. But man, the signal is high for you folks. I mean, it's even higher on the Euro ensemble for Nova Scotia, especially eastern New Brunswick. But hopefully you can see it pretty well here. But, if you live on Cape Breton Island, Prince Edward Island, central to eastern Nova Scotia, the signal looks pretty high for you folks. I think I said central to, eastern Nova Scotia. But, not near as high once you get into the Avalon Peninsula, southeast Newfoundland. Hopefully I'm calling it that right. It's because, the Euro wants to really cut this low pressure a little bit further. Well, I would say quicker to the north, but definitely a hefty signal for snowfall for you guys. Temperatures, I'm just going to look at low temperatures, but, Wednesday morning, it's getting pretty chilly across the north-central U.S. There's a little bit of a moderation here, but still, below freezing temperatures for low temperatures Thursday morning across a good chunk of the central U.S. But then that reinforcing shot of cold air moves in. You get temperatures well below zero up here, single digits as far south as Nebraska, Iowa. And then the core of the cold air shifts to the east, single-digit lows into Wisconsin, the UP and Michigan, below zero lows. For areas of Minnesota, North Dakota. And then we get into the morning of the 22nd, still cold air, start to get some sub-zero lows in northern Wisconsin, even the UP and Michigan. And then it begins to moderate, and it's back into the teens for low temperatures up here. And I know I haven't really spoke on this down here, but it could get quite cold down here in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, but I would say the core of the coldest air mass is going to be to the north and to the east. And here's the low temperatures for the eastern U.S., above average low temperatures for the south, and even for the northern sections of the country. But here comes the first shot of cold air. Some chillier temperatures start to surge down to the deep south, as you can tell. And, we start to get into Friday morning lows. You're starting to get into the low teens, even single digits in Maine. And then here comes the core of the cold air mass, starting to get into the 20s for lows in northern Alabama, the northern half of Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, even some 20s for lows, slipping into the Carolinas and definitely points north. And then we get into Sunday morning, even colder. Could be the coldest morning for certain areas, but then the coldest morning could be for Monday morning for other areas too. For example, going for the teens in North Carolina, low 20s deep into South Carolina, and very cold temperatures all the way down to Florida. In fact, I mean, we could get some 40s deep down into Florida with this air mass Sunday morning into, excuse me, swallowed my spit there, into Monday morning. So I will say going past Christmas now, listen, above average temperatures are going to start to take over even from Christmas Day forward. So the entire country, the entire lower 48 looks to be pretty much nuked with Pacific warm air. And this is definitely going to last through about New Year's at least, but things get a lot foggier once you get, not literally, but just mixed signals once you start to get into the first week of January. And we're going to start to talk about that a lot over the next several days, but one thing we're really confident in, and we've been confident in this for a while now, between Christmas Day and pretty much New Year's, above average temperatures are going to dominate the entire lower 48, and not just the lower 48, but up into Canada too, which you hate to see because that's going to pretty much impact negatively our cold air supply up there. If you're a winter weather fan, of course, I'm speaking, but you know, this is getting pretty far out, like day 9 onward. But the GFS, the morning of the 26th, moving past Christmas, it doesn't show much of anything, and then it shows a big storm system trying to develop. I wouldn't say big, but it's a storm system trying to develop along the Mississippi Valley. The 26th and 27th, all rain. I mean, it's very warm. And then it shows a bigger storm system closer to the 28th and 29th. And, you know, models have been flirting around with this idea that we're going to have a powerful cutting storm system over the middle of the country. And this could bring severe weather. I could see a severe weather event between Christmas Day and New Year's. And I would say it'd be a little bit closer to New Year's. But we're going to see what happens with this. The Euro, it wants to develop a storm system much quicker. Like the day after Christmas, has a weaker storm system right over the middle of the country, just like the GFS, just a little bit further west. And then it has a more powerful storm system trying to develop for the south initially on the 28th to 29th. This cuts, but it's just weird. This would bring some severe weather for the deep south into the 29th and 30th. It's just this kind of this weird, very warm cutoff low. And then at the end of the run, it does show a big trough starting to dive down. And, I mean, it's crazy. We're already starting to see January 1 showing up on this. But we'll continue to figure that one out. I mean, it's very foggy. It's very weird. We got to figure that one out. But today's weather, big surge of moisture moving out of Canada into New Brunswick. It's going to turn quite wintry up here, though, soon. We got this area of rain moving across the southwest mountains of North Carolina, the Cumberland Plateau, northern Georgia, and this area of showers and storms moving across the Mississippi Delta region here in Mississippi, moving out of Arkansas. Plume of snow that has developed, and in certain areas it's quite heavy in South Dakota. Maybe a wintry mix south of this, but this is going to continue and then connect with some more energy and develop into a stronger, I wouldn't say a powerful, but a stronger storm system in the northeast. And then we do have moisture that continues to surge into the Pacific Northwest with some scattered moisture and energy across the Rockies. Watches, warnings, and advisories. These winter weather advisories are out for what's going on right now. Just a little bit of snow. We click on this, snow accumulations between 2 to 4 inches in these areas that have winter weather advisories. We have some special weather statements down here for just fog. And then we do have some winter weather alerts down here for the Laramie Range, northern Rockies of Colorado, winter storm warnings, and some winter weather advisories in the purple scattered across the northern Rockies and the Cascades, winter storm warnings. So always forget, I got to just start pulling up. What about the chances of excessive rainfall? Nothing today. What about thunderstorms? There is a risk of severe weather across this area today, from the Texarkana area right through the central portion of Arkansas all the way into western Tennessee, even a section of northern Mississippi. There is a risk of severe weather. There is a 2% risk of a tornado, folks, between almost Pine Bluff, Arkansas, through Memphis, all the way to Jackson, Tennessee. It's a good bit west of Nashville, but wind threat. The tornado threat is really what we watch for today. This is an interesting little setup, and we'll talk more on it here. But the southeast, here we go. This is the area of energy, and there's going to be some showers, even maybe some thunderstorms in Florida today. But this is the area of energy we watch. It doesn't look like much, but we could have some thunderstorms in this area right here that could produce a quick spin-up. And I would watch into the overnight hours especially. Could have some thunderstorms that, like I said, just have a quick spin up. We've had a couple rogue tornado warnings throughout the last couple days in areas of the country. But line of thunderstorms really sweep through late tonight into the wee hours of the morning tomorrow morning. And then we have a full-fledged line of storms sweeping across the mid to deep south. And I'll go on and keep this running. And, pretty much a line of storms sweeping through central Tennessee all the way into northern Alabama. And eventually they weaken as they make it to the southern Apps. But interesting little setup for sure. But I don't think it's anything to be overly concerned about. We've been pretty relaxed as far as the fall season with severe weather. But in the Northeast, that system moves out. We'll have some lingering just energy kind of flying around the interior sections of the Northeast in the form of some rain showers, maybe some snow showers into the Adirondacks, Tug Hill Plateau. But between now and the next 24 hours, it's a pretty calm period before we get a little bit more unsettled. So enjoy a quieter period of weather. The south central U.S., some rain showers possible in Texas, central and eastern Texas. Rain shower storms possible in Arkansas, and there's those storms developing back into northeast Arkansas, sweeping through extreme southeast Oklahoma, southwest Arkansas, and sweeping through the entire state of Arkansas throughout the late night into tomorrow hours. So just watch out for that. Could be a little severe weather. The north central U.S., here's that snow making its way across the rest of South Dakota. We'll have a swath of moderate to heavy snow that'll move into maybe northern sections of Iowa, but mainly southern Minnesota throughout the afternoon and evening hours. And then it could re-intensify, kind of re-energize itself into northeast Iowa. Southern sections of Wisconsin could get some snow. We'll start to get into tonight. Some snow in Milwaukee's possible. And we could start to get some snow tomorrow morning in northern Illinois. And yes, this does include Chicago. Maybe a little bit of snow. We'll get a little bit of lake effect snow shower activity that will get going tomorrow morning in the UP of Michigan. And then by the time I'm waking up tomorrow morning, could have just some light to moderate snow making its way through areas of lower Michigan, northern and central sections of Indiana, and then even northern sections of Ohio. And then the lake effect snows start going. Not a big event, but certainly an event. And snowfall between now and the next 48 hours in South Dakota, just a swath between Pierre and Brookings of 2 to 4 inches of snow. Aberdeen, maybe a little less, around an inch. Sioux Falls, an inch. And then we take it and we look at, say, Iowa. Inch or so of snow in the northern counties of Iowa. Not a lot. Minnesota. Could get a couple inches of snow, maybe a few inches of snow south of Minneapolis, St. Paul. Maybe an inch of snow in Minneapolis. A little festive inch of snow. Eau Claire, an inch of snow. La Crosse, an inch and a half or so. We go and we look at Illinois. Going for, a few tenths of an inch of snow in northern Illinois, but not a whole lot. And then I'll look at Wisconsin too. And maybe 4/10 of an inch of snow in Milwaukee, just a dusting to maybe half an inch of snow in certain sections of southern sections of Wisconsin. So the western U.S. will continue just to get a little bit of snow across the central Rockies, and then heavy snow up in the Cascades and lower elevation rain. Then we'll get some snow moving across western Montana, northern Idaho late tonight, and then another area of energy will sweep into that area tomorrow morning. Temperatures warm up ahead of a cool down. Definitely warm in the deep south, 70s and 60s. Battleground right here of just 50s. Chillier in the upper Midwest, but nothing too cold compared to average. Definitely a warm up into the Northeast. In fact, we'll definitely get some snow melt today. Locked in below freezing in the upper Midwest, and then this is the western U.S. God bless all y'all. Have a wonderful day. Appreciate y'all, and talk to you again soon.